my people. So we're here on a cold Alabama day. It doesn't get cold in Alabama very often, but when it does, I tend to bundle my ass up. So out here in the garage, working on a couple projects. So I've got the phase 1 clone trooper repaint that I'm doing for gentlemen out in, is Nick out in Washington or Oregon. That's one of the two. So I've got the filler primer down there and a couple small issues that we'll have to address, just like where the paint was cracking from where he had done a little bit of earlier work. So I'll have to sand that down, little Bondo glazing spot putty on that to get that right, but a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and some unevenness down here that I will address because we want this thing to look perfect for him. But good first pass on filler primer on that. From here it's just sanding, and we all love sanding. No, we don't. I find sanding oddly therapeutic. So the other fun thing is I've got some a little bit of filler primer on this as well, so you can kind of, I feel like, start to see where it's going here, which is looking much more PipBoy-ish. And again, I've taken some liberties on this just to kind of make it, there's different ones in the games. The show one looks different. So I'm going with, this will be the screen area. I've got this taped, so when I pull that off, that'll be clear. I'll put just a still graphic, either the Vault-Tec logo or the little PipBoy guy under there, just to print out, that I can, just have it on there. I like the fact that I've got two different knobs that I can turn. So this one here, again, this will be painted the same color as everything else. This one here, and I accomplished that just by, this is the lid from a Galaxy's Edge Coke bottle. Galaxy's Edge Coke bottle lid. I just cut the neck portion off and glued that on there. What's going on, Talking with Tucker? And what's going on, Theo? I'm building a PipBoy here. This is a Fallout PipBoy. So I just glued the nozzle on there, and then you got a working knob. Very easy working knob. Same thing here. This is the top of a paint, just a small acrylic paint thing. And I've got a working turning knob on the side. These portions here are just, I cut up a Dremel accessory kit. The boxes for a Dremel accessory kit, and just glued that all together on the side there. What's going on, little clicks? What is happening? So that's just the sides of a Dremel box. That's the top part of it. I've got this taped off, so this is clear plexi that you'll be able to see through. I'll put a little graphic underneath there, but then pop that on top. That's the screen. And you've got a PipBoy. A couple other little greeblies that I'll put on here. I'm not sure where. I've got a little knob like that and that. I may end up getting a little temperature gauge or something, like a radiation meter that goes right there. But this is your PipBoy. So this one's going to be fun. This is a complete scratch build. The base itself was a protein pack. So it was a protein canister that I just cut out. So one of the things I want to do today is just clean this all up, where I just kind of cold cut that out. And then it's just a matter of kind of filling in some of these little holes, pieces, parts, and we're going to paint it. So I'm going to go black and then do, this is Fallout PipBoy. I'm going to go with a black paint and a graphite rub on there. And again, I don't, this does not need to be perfect up close. I'm just building this to kind of go as an accessory for the Fallout jumpsuit that I got recently. So Dremel with my sandpaper little end on there, and I'm just going to take up these pieces to kind of flatten this out. Ah, the smell of burnt plastic. Sev. So I've got Mike at 850 Armor Works has just informed me that they're working on the Clone Commando armor. So I'm very psyched for that. I just love the look of those big bulky ass armors. So you know, who knows what I'll be going with that, but so many options at 850 Armor Works now. His armor sets are not cheap, no. So they're, you know, and it's a kit. So this is like something that's going to take several months or weeks worth of work to put it together. But they're going to run you about, you know, $800 to $1,000 for most of the armor kits that they have there. And a Mando armor would be cheaper because it's not a full armor kit. But yeah, very cool, very cool. Love Fallout game, love it. Love the fact that the series kind of opened it up to everybody. My wife now knows about Fallout. You know, my question is that Fallout adaptation of the Prime series, is that the best video game to a television show adaptation that there is? I don't know that I can think of another one. I mean, Last of Us or that, it's got to be one of those two, I feel like. Both, you know, very excellent to the source material. I don't know. Yeah, I will say this, like, not all of my cosplays, though, are extremely expensive cosplays. You know, I've got some just basic store-bought things that I've kind of adjusted, and that's what this is. This is just a accessory for a $30 Fallout jumpsuit that I bought, that I'm, you know, gonna adjust and add things to, but, you know, you don't have to spend a shit ton to make a good cosplay. You know, I don't want anybody to think that it's thousands of dollars to do it. Now, if you're wanting to do a good armor cosplay, like a clone trooper armor or something like that, yeah, you're going to spend $1,000. Easily, you know, possibly multiple thousands of dollars. It just gets expensive. It just gets expensive. All right, so I think that is ready for the next phase, which is going to be adding the last little greeblies, a little more paint on this, and then light dusting, sanding, and painting. Everybody needs a new helmet. Love that about the clones, how they kind of took their armor as the way to differentiate themselves. And armor, haircuts, and tattoos. Armor, haircuts, and tattoos. So, again, strangely enough, this is the first Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet to come across the workbench. I don't do a lot of Phase 1. I'm not a big fan of the Phase 1 helmets. I don't know. Just not the cool look for me is the Phase 2. But I really, after doing this, I kind of feel like I need one now. Kind of feel like I need one. So this is just a repaint, and got the filler primer on it. I'm going to do a little sanding here to take care of some cracks. I'm not sure if y'all can see. A little crack there. A couple little cracks and a little areas that aren't perfect, and I'd like this to be perfect from a man since this is a commission job. So let's grab some sandpaper. See what we got. 400. 400 grit, never heard of it. And sometimes you can just sand these away. Sometimes it will take a little Bondo. And this one I think will take a little Bondo. We're going to go for 220 because the 400 is not quite doing it. There we go. I usually like to have all this stuff ready to go before I get going. Breaking into a new Bondo glazing spot buddy. Alright, so I always like to glove up before I get this crap on my fingers. I'm sure it is highly toxic. I don't like to read labels. That's for sissies. But that's a warning, do not ingest it. How much does it cost on these builds? So, I've not done a Phase 1, but a Phase 2 is the identical armor. Although if you're talking animated armor, it is slightly different there. I've never done a Phase 1, but the multiple Phase 2s that I've done, if you're building it yourself, you're going to spend upwards of $1,200 to $1,500. If you're commissioning someone to do it, you're probably looking at, for the full armor, you're looking at $2,500, $3,000. For a helmet, much more affordable, from scratch, probably $250. If you're doing it yourself, maybe $125, $100, $125, depending on, where, if you've got a 3D printer or if you're buying a 3D printed helmet. So yeah. If you're just wanting a Star Wars helmet, sometimes the Hasbro Black Series is the best way to go because they've got affordable versions of these. Affordable. So yeah, helmets. If you're wanting to get into this, start with a helmet. That's what I always tell anybody. Start with a helmet. You can do a helmet. You can probably do a full armor set. But a helmet will be much more affordable, and all the techniques you use are pretty much the same. So I'm just trying to get this glazing spot putty into those cracks. And what you do with this is basically you'll get it on there and you're going to sand 99% of it off, but that 1% will sit in that little crack, and we'll get rid of it. We do this until there is no crack. There is no crack. Yeah, I'm not too fond of Xcoser, but again, if you need affordable versions, they will do the job, absolutely. They will absolutely do the job. Okay, where else do we have an issue? So we got a couple things down here that I think I can fill in as well. It's always interesting working with these chemicals in different temperatures. Typically, I'm in Alabama, and typically I'm working in, you know, pretty high heat, high humidity. And right now it's very cold. And this stuff reacts different in cold. Everything takes a little bit longer, it seems like, in the cold. Things move slower. So again, this was actually a Hasbro that was modified, and they did an awesome job on it. Extending this up here so the face shield is, you know, accurate, or at least more accurate. Very, very good job. I'm psyched to be working on this. So whoever, if that was you that did the work on this, man, great job. If it wasn't, whoever did this, great job. Great job. And those, you know, little conversions like that can be fun projects too, if you're trying to make them more accurate, because they're nice, but again, they are not extremely accurate. But you're going to get a good helmet for the price. You know, something that really looks the part. A small little hole right there I'm going to try to fill in as well. All in all, good job on this helmet though, seriously. All right, so now we let that dry. Come back, sand again. Another coat of filler primer, and we'll see where we're at. All in a day's work. All right, so that's where we're at on this. Probably take a break on that for today, do some sanding later. This, again, I feel like is starting to come to where you can kind of see what's going on with it. Screen will be here. And again, some different type of greeblies up in here, maybe one of these. I know I want this on here somewhere. I'm just not sure where. It just feels, that feels appropriate. Knobs that'll turn there and there. But yeah, this is Fallout PipBoy. I'm quite pleased with where we are with this. So, Yep. All right. Any questions about this? Because that's probably about all I'm doing today. Xcoser. What did I have from Xcoser? I think I got my Kylo neck seal. I think it's from Xcoser. Maybe it might have been the hood. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, so final look at that, guys, before I put this all up. And then tomorrow maybe come back, have this painted. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. We're progressing slowly with the Fallout build. Hope y'all enjoy it. Thank you for being here. If you did, give me a like. All that other shit that you can do. As always, I'm Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source